The Johnny Cake, an English Folktale.
Once upon a time, an old man and an old woman lived together in a little house. Early one morning, the old woman made a fine, fat Johnny cake, and she put it into the oven to bake. "Watch the Johnny cake for me," said the old woman to the old man. And she meant, watch it so it doesn't burn. But the old man thought, why should I watch the Johnny cake? The Johnny cake won't run away. And so he didn't watch the Johnny cake. But then all of a sudden, the Johnny cake jumped out of the oven and went rolling end over end out the front door. The old man and the old woman ran as fast as they could. But the Johnny cake ran faster. "Come back here, Johnny cake," they cried as they chased after him. But it was no use, and they had to give up and go home. On and on ran Johnny cake. And by he met a weasel. "Where are you going, dear little Johnny cake?" asked the weasel. And Johnny cake answered, "I ran and ran from an old woman and an old man. I can run away from you too. I can. The weasel trotted after Johnny cake, but Johnny cake was much too fast for him, and the weasel had to give up and go home. On raced the Johnny cake, and by he met a bear. "Where are you going, dear sweet little Johnny cake?" asked the bear. And the Johnny cake answered, "I ran and ran from an old woman and an old man and a weasel. And I can run away from you too. I can. The bear ran after the Johnny cake, but the Johnny cake ran faster, never stopping to look behind him, and the bear had to give up too. On went Johnny cake, and by he came to a wolf. "Where are you going, dear sweet fat little Johnny cake?" asked the wolf. "I ran and ran from an old woman and an old man, and a weasel and a bear, and I can run away from you too. I can. "Oh, you can you?" snarled the wolf, and he set out after the Johnny cake, who ran and ran without ever looking back. The wolf saw there was no hope of catching Johnny cake, and he gave up too. On went Johnny cake, and by he came to a fox lying by the side of the road. "Where are you going, Johnny cake?" asked the fox. "I ran and ran from an old woman and an old man, and a weasel and a bear and a wolf. I can run away from you too. I can. "What's that you're saying, Johnny cake? I can't hear you," said the fox. "Come a little closer." Johnny cake moved a little teeny bit closer to the fox and sang, "I ran and ran from an old woman and an old man, and a weasel and a bear and a wolf. I can run away from you too. I can. "Oh, my poor old ears. I still can't hear a single word. Please come just a little closer," said the fox. Johnny cake marched right up to the fox's ear, and he shouted out, "I ran and ran from an old woman and an old man, and a weasel and a bear and a wolf. I can run away from you too. I can. But that was all he said, for the fox snapped him up and swallowed him in the twinkling of an eye. And that was the end of the Johnny cake. The end.